Yes. What's going on YouTube? Jamo TV HD. Obviously, we out here on the Nintendo Switch. And I thought we'd do, a little what is my personal top 10 single player games for the Nintendo Switch. So I've done a little what's my best multiplayer games, split screen local multiplayer games, and I haven't really dwelled too much on the single player, games that I play by myself on the train or games that I play by myself when I'm at yard. So yeah, I thought we'd go into that. I've got a couple of honorable mentions as well. So yeah, let's get into my list. Coming in at top 10, I've got Splatoon 2 single player campaign. Now, the Splatoon 2 single player campaign, it's very simple, it's very basic. I feel like it doesn't personally have that much story to it, but I do like playing it sometimes. When online's getting a bit too much, sometimes you need to slow it all down to your pace and just go against, some computer AI opponents. I'm very much looking forward to the new DLC that they're going to be dropping later on this year when you get to be an octopus girl or like whatever they're called. But coming in at top 10 at least, Splatoon 2 single player. Coming in at number 9, we've got More Fight. Now, More Fight is a dope little adventure, collection, building kind of survival game. Not survival in the sense of you have to eat to live, but you kind of just got to kill things and survive kind of thing. I'm not sure if that even counts as a survival game, but yeah, that's what I'm calling it at the moment. And essentially, it's a lot like No Man's Sky because you go to there's bare different planets that you can go to. They're all randomly generated, and you basically go to that planet. You kill the wildlife there. There's like a little scanning machine. So if you scan the wildlife, you get these scan points, and you can trade those scan points in for upgrades and stuff like that. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. They're not called scan points, but yeah, you get points for scanning stuff. So it's kind of a question of whether do you kill this enemy or do you get it while it's trying to kill you, get the points, and then kill it. Because obviously after you killed it, you can't scan it. But yeah, essentially you go to different planets, you collect different materials, you upgrade your ship so that you can go to further planets, collect different materials, upgrade your suit so that you can go on planets that are too hot or planets that are too cold. But yeah, quite a decent game, and I'll definitely put it on my list. Number 8, we got Mario Rabbids. Where's Rabbids? Yeah, we got Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I'm giving it a number 8. It's not a bad game, but I feel it's marketed very poorly. Like when you see, the title screen or you see the thumbnail there, you're like, yeah, Mario, this is gonna be like Mario Odyssey. But it's quite clearly not. It's actually a strategy game that's, turn-based as well. And it's not very action-packed action, it's very, yeah, it's just very strategy, but it makes a good game to play while you're on the train, because you can kind of play it, have a text at the same time, and then play something else, and you can multitask while you play the game. So yeah, it's quite a decent game, and definitely makes it onto my list. Number 7, we got Chroma Garden. I can't even find Chroma Garden right now, but yeah, it's essentially a puzzle game, first-person puzzle game. It kind of reminds me of Portal, the way that you've got the main person speaking to you, and he's kind of telling you, don't go into this room or don't go into that room, and he's, cracking kind of jokes along the way, which are quite humorous, and yeah, it's quite a decent game. If you liked Portal or Portal 2, or if you just generally like first-person puzzle games, then you'll like Chroma Garden. It's definitely one of those ones that you can play by yourself, when you're at home or on the transport. Radiation Island now. I've had this one recently, quite a cheap game. Okay, as you can tell, guys, all these games are very cheap and under £10. It's all very mad. We're on a budget like that. But yeah, Radiation Island, it's obviously a adventure game, but it's also a survival game because, you need to eat to survive. If you don't eat, your character will die. If you don't, put on clothes, your character will die because it will get cold and die. If you jump off somewhere that's too high, your character's leg will, that bone in the leg will break. And if you don't fix that bone, your character will die. If something tries to kill you, your character will most likely die unless you've got something to defend yourself with. And, it's got daytime and nighttime cycle. There's lots of crafting. It's a game that if you describe to someone, they'll be like, well, why would you want to play such a hard game? And it's true, it is quite a hard game. There's modes that make it a little bit easier, but it is in general a hard and scary game. But once you do start playing it, it's very rewarding. The fact that you've like survived one night, and then the fact that you survived 2 nights, and then you've survived a couple of encounters with monsters, and it's like, yeah, you know, you got your base and you're ready to survive. But once you die, you actually feel like you've died inside. So it's very peak. At the same time, Revelations 2, Resident Evil. Love Resident Evil Revelations and Resident Evil Revelations 2. I'm just gonna call it Resident Evil 2 for now. It's a deep game and it's got split screen co-op, but you know, more focused on the single player. The AI opponent actually does jobs, like they actually help you out and, you know, help you find stuff, and you can switch between your character and the AI opponent. So, you know, it's quite accessible as a split screen game. It's quite accessible as a single player game as well. And you know, it's got all your normal Capcom action, shooting and everything, and it's got quite a few scary bits as well, where there's like these invisible monsters. But yeah, I won't spoil it too much for people that are about to play. Steam World Dig 2. Wow, I can't believe this has made it to number 4 on my list of 10. Steam World Dig 2 is actually a serious game, guys. You're a little robot girl, you're digging, you're trying to find your friend, you talk to the locals, they tell you your friend went down the mine and you have to dig into the mine. But obviously, as you dig into the mine, your light starts to run out. So you find little gems and rubies down the way, and you jump back out of the mine, and you know, you start to upgrade your light so that you can go further into the mine. And then when you go further into the mine, you realize that some of the rocks are too hard for you to dig through. So then you have to find some more gemstones and more rocks, and then go back up and upgrade your pickaxe so you can get through the harder stuff, and so on and so forth. And there's a little blue thing that's your friend, and it's all mad. The story is actually quite lit. There's a very hard boss battle in there. It's quite a decent game. It's got a lot of exploration, and you get a lot of different, like special moves and stuff like that, and special stuff, whatever I'm trying to say right now. I'm not even too sure. But yeah, it's a deep game. Definitely go and try it. Now we're going to go back into Resident Evil Revelations, the one that came out on the 3DS first time. Banging game. I feel like Resident Evil went to a place for a while where it wasn't scary, it was action-packed action. Like, I know Capcom are, they make Monster Hunter, they're about this action life. They make Street Fighter, they're about the action life. But they kind of lost their way with Resident Evil for a bit, and it wasn't really scary, it wasn't horror. They gave you lots of, there was lots of enemies which were like intimidating, but they gave you lots of ammunition as well. This brings it back to those tight corridors, those jump scares. There's still a lot of enemies, but there's not as much ammunition. So as I've said in previous videos, you gotta kind of think to yourself, rah, there's bare enemies here, I gotta kind of run through them and hope I survive, or I can try and take out one of them and run out of bullets and then die. It's all mad. Should I shoot or should I run? It's very fight and flight in this game, and it's always making you think, which option should you take. Number 2, obviously, we've got Mario Odyssey. I didn't know about the rhyme there, but yeah, there you go. I've got Mario Odyssey. Now, Mario Odyssey is a decent game, takes it back to that Mario platforming action. A little bit upset with the way that the moons work. It's not really a problem, but with like Mario Sunshine and Mario 64, there's about 10 moons, maybe 12 moons on each stage. But now there's like 100 moons on each stage, and they just lose their sentimental value, if you get what I mean. Like when you got a star or a shine sprite on, Super Mario Sunshine, it was like, yes, I've got one of these for this level, I'm doing good. But you can literally just accidentally walk into a power moon in Odyssey, and it doesn't really have the same excitement, for me personally anyway. I guess it's more of a completionist thing, or a lot of people want to collect every single one, but for me, it wasn't that. But yeah, definitely still a brilliant game, and lots of replay value and lots of value after you complete the main game. Coming in at number 1, obviously, woohoo, big story, long story short, Zelda. It was mad. I've been banging this out legitly since day dot, since the 3rd of March 2017 when it first come out. It's been a banging game. It's a long game. I mean, you can complete it short. They've just given you so much option in this game, and the physics when I saw the physics that were displayed in this game, it made me realize that the Nintendo Switch is capable. Yeah, it's capable of doing things like from the physics engine that's going on in here, the little NVIDIA graphics card that's in the Switch, it's capable of doing very serious things. So yeah, Zelda, brilliant game. I feel like there's not much to do in the end game. There's a little bit of DLC. The DLC didn't really do that much for me. I'm not really that excited about the Champion of the Ballads or the Ballads of the Champion. It was quite fun, but yeah, definitely the main game. I might do Master Quest mode or Hero mode or whatever they call it, but yeah, definitely a brilliant game. Now, obviously, that's my 10. Obviously, I'm going to give some honorable mentions to some games that I basically don't have. Bayonetta 2, Doom, Skyrim, and there's a game called Malacca. Now, I haven't played it that much. It seems quite decent. It's like a little third-person hack and slash, kind of like Bayonetta, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, I haven't played it that much, so I didn't want to talk about it too much and say, you know, this comes into my top 10. But yeah, definitely seems like a good game, and I will do a gameplay review on it later on. Ukulele also definitely deserves a space in my top 10. But yeah, it kind of came out at the same time as Mario Odyssey, and it kind of got outshined, like, because of the old gameplay mechanics and the graphics. A lot of people just, you know, went past it and didn't really care. But it is a really decent game, and it's, you know, it looks just like Banjo-Kazooie. Very, it's kind of retro in a new day and age kind of thing, yeah. Subsurface Circular, also very decent game. Deserves an honourable mention. Quite a short game though, but it is £4, so you get what you pay for. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe and like. Let me know what is your favourite single player game on the Switch. And I'll catch you in the next one.